So now let's talk about the annual MVP.
Okay.
This tool, and the question I asked you before you went back to the point, which I'm grateful that you did, is if we can apply the MVP over a period of time, imagine how it's going to change your life.
Oh.
Compared to what the progress that you were making, which was, by the way, amazing. You guys are all amazing guys. Like, I'm not sitting here with a bunch of bums. You guys are doing amazing things in your life. If we could be applying this level of efficiency and focus and intention in our lives, where are we going to be in 5 years? What is it going to look like? What can we accomplish? And so now let's take this tool and put it on a bigger perspective, an annual MVP. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I went to a Tony Robbins event, and they have what's called the Wheel of Life. And in the Wheel of Life, there was a spoke that went out called financial, called business, called health and education and faith, all of these different spokes, and you were to rate yourself on a 1 to 10 level where we were. Financially, I'm a 7. I'm doing pretty good, but my family relationships, I could do better. Maybe I'm a 3. And my physical health, I'm doing really good right now. I'm an 8. But my spiritual health is shit. I'm a 2, maybe a 1, like really low. And the reason it was called the Wheel of Life is because if you want to travel at a high rate of speed, you got to have wheels that are balanced.
You got to be balanced.
If your wheel is sticking out over here and low over here, and you get the going down the freeway, how long will it take before?
It's only fun for a minute.
Yeah, it's only hilarious when it's happening to someone else. The problem with that is we're a motorcycle networking group, and on my motorcycle, if my tire is if there's a problem with it, my life is over. That's how I look at this Wheel of Life. And we are traveling along as humans blindly going down the road because we're not conscious or intentional about all of the spokes.
Yeah.
So when I did that, and he made it very clear on that I've been running as fast as I can, which is slow. You can't go that fast if you only have a 10 on one spot. It doesn't matter if the 10 is a great 10. If these other areas are suffering, you will go slow. How can I speed my life up? By improving the wheel.
Yeah.
You guys with me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. And so what I did is I came home and I wrote down on a piece of paper, and we've got these pieces of paper right here, all the spokes that I have in my life. And I see you added one, which is good. I'm going to go through them really quick. We have business, family, marriage or significant relationship, friendships, financial. We got the American Mastermind.
Well, you put TGH in there, so I figured it had to go in there.
Yeah, no, I love it. Spiritual, health, education, and a charity, or mine's TGH. These are all the spokes of my life that are meaningful. And if you have others, add them. If you have something that I haven't thought of, please add it. Now, the way that this works is that in every area, just like you do your MVP every day, you have your 5 non-negotiables. These are gonna happen. No matter what, no matter how, this is happening. I'm gonna put all my effort and energy into this today. So if we could apply that to a year, we're gonna pick 3 or 5 things that have to happen. Let's just pick one. Let's just jump over to health. Health is an easy one. Now, in health, there's a lot of things in our world that we can do to improve our health. There's diet, there's exercise, there's rest, there's all the things we can add into health. What are the 3 or 5 things that are going to happen this year in your health that you're going to do? Then the second part is, what would you like to have happen? Like, it would be cool if I could knock out 100 push-ups in one time. It would be cool if I could, whatever. And this, when you do this exercise, I want you to do it with the mindset of a 7-year-old at Christmas, on Christmas Eve, knowing that mom and dad killed it last year. Anything is possible. Santa's going to bring something fucking amazing tomorrow. Like, this is it, man. This is going to be the best Christmas of my life. Boys, this is going to be the best year of your life. Feel it. Look into it. Don't look at these things like, in reality, in the thing in the deal, and talk yourself out of it, because we're so good at talking ourselves into being reasonable. I want to be unreasonable just for a second, and I just want to put it out there. What would it look like? How would it feel? How would it feel if I could get to a certain body percentage or at a certain weight, or my leg was working perfectly, or how would it feel? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody has a thing physically, and I want to know what that would feel like. I want to think about it. I want to spend time in it. And then there's the stretch. So we've got the musts, It'd be cool ifs and the stretches. Yeah. Now, the stretch could be something like, I want to be at 3% body fat. I want to run a marathon. I want to, I don't know, what would be a stretch? What would be a stretch for you?
Run a marathon.
Run a marathon.
Sure, be a stretch.
Stretch for me would be to hit my goal weight. I've been trying to hit my goal weight now for a minute. I'd love to get down to that 230 pounds would be great for me. I think that my joints would feel better. And I've been trying to get to 230 for a minute. But what if I hit that? How good would it feel for me to actually be in the space, the weight that I really want to be? And so these are the things that I want to put down. Now, if we're going through these,
just for clarification, so it's 3 to 5 things that have to happen.
How
many cool ifs? 3 to 5?
3 to 5.
3 to 5. Okay, and then your one big stretch.
1 or 2, whatever you want. But this is the Christmas time. This is a Christmas time wish. This is it. This is the one thing. If I could have the one thing, what would it be? A bionic arm? I don't know. On your spiritual list, let's go down those. Like a spiritual thing might be for you to do a ceremony, to do a medicine ceremony, or to meet a shaman, or to find a guru, or to read a certain number of books. That might be more education. Spiritual might be spending time meditating every day, or spending time. I'm going to read all of the scriptures, plus I'm going to read the thing and the deal and the deal and the thing and all the stuff. Like, what am I gonna do to travel the spiritual road, and then my goals. Now we're looking at all of these things in the same light.
For those listening, spiritual gratitudes, starting your morning early, that counts.
That would be a great one.
That's 100% one.
That would raise your spiritual frequency significantly. The gratitudes every morning.
Yes.
And so the thing is this is something you're going to get better at. And the reason that we have 2 copies, and the reason I would recommend you going on and clicking on the link that's associated with this podcast and printing 2 copies, is because you're going to write these things down, and you're going to look at some of them and be like, no. But this would be more important. Financial's a good one. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to put together my trust? Am I going to have my will put together? Am I going to save a certain amount of money? Am I going to donate a certain amount of money? And what am I going to do with my finances this year that I would really want to do? Am I going to invest in that certain program that is going to make me rich? What is the thing that I want more than anything in the world? I'm going to find it. Now, we're going to be doing this on every single sheet of these papers. Now, there's a lot of it. And this is something that you don't do lightly. This is something that you're going to write all of it down, scratch things out, and then you're going to have your final. This is the final over here. Now, you're going to take your final, you're going to write down your musts, your likes, and your stretches. And this is going to be in your journal every morning. Every morning. Now, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to read, okay, business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm building my team. I'm going to change my CRM. I'm going to change brokerages. I'm going to recruit this many agents. I'm going to do these many deals, whatever.
That sounded real.
Yeah, that's not made up. I'm going to do these things, and then as I'm doing these things, I'm going to read it. Now, business, I've read it this morning. I've spent some time thinking about how good it's going to feel to have these agents on my team, and I'm helping them build their lives, and we're helping people find homes, and we're doing some cool stuff together. Like, this is my team, man. This is my family, my work family, and we're making money together. We're doing it. I'm going to spend some time feeling it. You guys follow me? It's not just a quick read. I'm going to take a moment and imagine that Christmas morning when I'm opening those presents and I'm getting that brand new bike, that feeling. Then I'm going to take the business one, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on the very back, and the next one that comes up is family. Next morning, and this is now my marker in the journal, I move it down, I'm writing my journal, I do my gratitudes. The next morning, the first thing that I read is about family, and I'm going to spend some time thinking about family. And then I take the family one and I put it in the back, and I'm going to go through this, I'm going to go through this, I'm going to go through this. Yeah. Every morning, this is something that I read. Now, people do dream boards, and they put them up on their wall, and what happens to the things that are on your wall?
They disappear.
They vanish.
Magically. Your eyes stop seeing them.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you've been to my house, you've seen the signs that I put all over my house. I periodically move the signs around because I will not see them anymore. I will quit reading them.
Strange how that happens.
It disappears. And so what I want to do is I want to continually put this at the front of my mind. This isn't something like a dream board that's up there that will disappear into the year. And then it's August, and I'm like, well, shit, I thought I was going to... And then you give up on it, and you get back to doing what you've always done, and then you're going to get what you've always gotten. And I'm done doing that. I don't want anymore what I've always gotten. I want that Christmas morning where I'm opening up that new bicycle.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, I want to look back like I do at the end of the day, and I'm like, man, 2023, that was a tough year, but look, and here's the thing that I'm going to tell you, is you're going down the list, you're going to be surprised at how many likes and stretches you actually do. Because you're thinking about it, you're attracting it, you're looking for the opportunity for that one, just jump in and to do that and go for it. It's crazy where you'll see yourself at the end of the year. And when you do it again, you're going to do it with a little bit more wisdom. Okay, that was cool. Like I was a little conservative in this area. I'm going to do a little bit more in this area. What could I do in this area that would create the life that I want? Now, as we're doing this, that's the real question. What if I could do this year the things I'm going to do that's going to create the life that I want? I don't want to continue to get what I've gotten, because that's how you end up being 65 years old and looking back at your life and thinking, what just happened? It's Christmas again. It's Christmas again. It's Christmas again. You guys seeing this already? You guys feeling it?
Yeah.
The year goes by and you think to yourself, what have I accomplished? What have I even done? Have I even moved the needle? I get up in the morning, I go to work, I pay my bills. I get up in the morning, I go to work, I pay my bills, and then I fucking die. That is not okay.
Yeah.
That is not okay.
No,
we are men of intention.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want. Nobody wants that. But at the end of your life, they say that the graveyard is full of millionaires and good intention. You know?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely a waste. It's doing no good in there.
Yeah.
It's doing no good in there. So we have an opportunity right now to paint our own picture, to write our own stories, and let's do it well. Let's not just sit in our ship and be blown through the oceans, whichever way the winds blow, because the economy, because my girlfriend, because my job, because of my... No. It is not okay anymore.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
You can fire up them diesel engines and
Get on that wheel and crank
you
that
want.
wheel wherever you want to go. But it's up to you. But what most people do is they're going through life and they are victims of circumstances that are beyond their control. And I am not a victim.
no.
I am a warrior. I am a man of results.
Right.
And in order to be that, I need to know what I want, and I need to know how I'm going to get it. I need to picture it regularly. MVP, that's what we're doing. We're doing it on a daily level. And you guys have seen the power that can happen in just one day. What could happen in a year? Questions about this? Go.
My thought is just that I feel like I've been very lucky in my life to be surrounded by a lot of really talented, smart people. And I think everyone at this table is one of those people. And I think one of the shortcomings that a lot of, not people at this table, but people that I've met in my life that are really talented and capable have, is you can just idle through life. Like you can just set your engines to idle and you'll make it. Like year by year, you will actually progress maybe more than other people in your life who don't have the capabilities or the talents or the skills.
Just through dumb luck, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so to your point, I feel as though I've been doing a bit of that, a bit of just idling through life. And I'm really excited to turn the engines on.
Well, the reason this is stackable with the MVP is because once you do the MVP and you've actually committed to doing it, you can actually see the value in creating a actionable, this is happening today.
Yeah.
And this is the stretch. And this is the would be nice if. You can see the value in that after you do it for 60 days. Mm-hmm. Imagine doing this for 365 days, and this is something that's continually going through your mind. What if in your financial life you've never set up a trust fund, you've never set up a will? What if in your spiritual life you've never taken time to meditate, you've never been intentional that way? What if in your relationships, in your marriage is a great one, in your marriage or your significant relationship, you've never had a date night, you've never taken time and intentionally done a love journal with your wife and whatever it is. And here's the thing is that when you're doing these things, you're going to be asking people, you're going to be talking about stuff, you're going to find ideas. You don't have to come up with everything right now. It's the beginning of December, mid-December, when you're going to be listening to this, and you have until January 1st to throw the switch. And so now's the time for you to take this rough draft and just hammer it. Just write stuff down like, man, that would be cool. And then you're going to think about it and be like, nah, it's not as important as I thought it would be. And the other thing, too, is if you have a partner, you have that roommate, you have someone in your life, you are going to go to them, and I'm going to tell you, Jared, this is what I would like to have happen with the American Masterminds. And then I'm going to have you sign it. You are my American Mastermind partner in this journey this year. You and Scotty over there, you're my partners in the American Mastermind. And what I would like to see happening with the American Mastermind is right here. This is my dream, my goals, my must-haves. You should know those things. We should compare notes. Now, what about in my spiritual life? Who could I talk to?
Spouse.
Your spouse? Maybe you have a spiritual friend, a guru, someone in your life that is and a good example.
Right.
Like find that person. One of the things I've learned about as I've grown older, I've always looked for an example. I've looked for a mentor. And what I've learned is there's no mentors out there that have
Everything.
all the things.
They have one area figured out.
They're just like me. They're going down the road. Boom, 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 boom. They're spiritually dialed in, but they're fat, and they sweat on a cool day. You know what I mean? On the health thing, on the financial thing, all of these things, you want to find someone and you want to have them read it. You want to share this, share it with me, share it with someone that matters to you in your life, and have them sign it. And then at the end of the year, your job, before you do this again in January, is to go to that person and say, hey, Jared, boys, this is what I wanted to happen with the American Masterminds, and go down the list. I am now accountable to you at a higher level than I've ever been accountable to you before. You guys know what I want with the American Masterminds? No, you don't. You have no idea what I want. I've never shared it with you. I've got some ideas. You've got some ideas. We've all got some ideas. What if we put them together and we were all intentional about it and accountable to one another? What if with my marriage...
The intentional thing is huge.
Is huge.
I was thinking about that when you were talking about like the date night or anything like that. If you're intentional with those, with all that time that you're spending on other things, I think that's important.
Well, and if you want to build any relationship, the most important relationship, you want to take that person and you want to share with them your dreams and goals. Because without that person, you can't do it.
Right.
If she's not on board for date night once a week, it doesn't matter that you wrote it down.
Nope.
If she's not on board to whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And so when you give it to her, you're going to give it to her and you're going to be a little bit vulnerable and say, hey, this is, babe, I love you. This is what I want from our relationship this year. Can you support me in this? Can I ask for your help? And you'll be amazed that they'll show up way more than you do. If you have date nights and it's Tuesday nights or whatever that night is, it's easy for me to forget that. And she'll ask me, and he'll be like, hey, what are we doing for date night tonight? I'm like, holy hell, how did it get to be Tuesday again? I should have been thinking about this all along. She is looking forward to it. She's holding me to it. And then guess what happens? Date night happens. Even if it's just us going out on a walk. Something easy.
But just the walk, but if you're intentional with that time, it turns it into something special.
So then what is date night? Date night is nobody has their phones. Date night is I'm talking to you.
We're focused on each other and how we're doing this week or
whatever.
I would love to have a date night every week, once a week. That's going to be on mine.
And in that date night, you can go online. There's books that you can buy that are like questions to ask each other on date night. And you can ask each other these questions. Andy's printed up a couple, and they're like, holy crap, I love this.
And then before you know it, 2 hours has gone by, and you're talking about
whatever
BS.
Yeah, whatever.
But it's intentional.
Right. Well, and the thing is then you remember,
yes.
Oh, yeah, that's why I like you.
Yeah.
It's not just a business relationship anymore. Did the kids get picked up? Did you pay the bills? Why didn't the trash get out? All of the things that happen in the week that have to happen in order to run a successful business or home.
Yeah.
Has to happen. And that relationship can be any relationship that you want to focus on. If I want to improve my relationship with Topher, then Topher, this is what I want us, this is how I would like to do this. We're going to go to lunch once a month. We're going to, whatever. We're going to do these things. And I would like to go on a trip. I'd like to do these things. Your relationship with me is that important. I want to, can you help me with that? And Topher's going to be like, hell yeah, I'm all about that. And so it's whatever relationship you want to pour into that needs to be improved in your life, whatever. It doesn't have to be a spouse. Can I be clear about that? The other thing that you're going to do as you're putting this together, as you're going through it, you will read this, and there's quite a few accounts. You don't have to have all these accounts. You don't have to have them all. This might not be your wheel. Do you know what I mean? You can change the names, whatever you want, but you want to have the stuff in there, and you want to be going through and viewing it regularly.
I like the rotation.
Actually, can we throw another layer on this? I just thought of something.
Let me hear it.
Let's, as a challenge to all of us here, use this next couple weeks to brainstorm and get them all ready. We'll do a podcast, whatever. I think it's the 4th is the first, January 4th is the first Wednesday. When we come in to do that, okay, we'll do the final version. If we want to get the signatures, you got to make sure you bring them with us, and let's laminate them. Because it's not official until it's laminated.
I like
and
that.
then you could flip them through, and I'll bring the laminating machine, and we'll get that done.
He owns a laminating machine.
Of course I do.
I'll bring my 3-hole punch in my laminator.
Where do you think these came from?
I love it. All right. I love that. That sounds like a great plan. So our goal then is to have everything finalized by January 4th. Can you guys agree to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And we'll put that down as our goal. And I think that's a good goal. And I would just really encourage you to spend some time every morning in your journaling practice, your hard learning time, and pour into this. This is the most important thing that you can be doing as we step into the new year. If you want this next year, if you want 2024 to be exceptional, mind-blowing, then let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's make this happen.
I'm ready.
Yeah, why not? I'm due.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: is I've done this for a lot of my life. After I did that Tony Robbins event, I really started doing this. Last year, I didn't do it, and as I was putting this together, I thought to myself, "What a waste of a year!" This year was I existed. I what was the word you used? Was it coasted?
Idled.
Idled. I idled through this year, and it was a pretty good year. I had a lot of great things happen, but there's very little intention other than my daily having to accomplish moving forward. So this is a paramount part of the daily thing is great, but you can also get to the end of the year doing your daily things every day, have a lot done, and still look at it and be like, what was the goal? This is the big list for the big list.
Right. I like it.
Questions about this?
I think
I'm excited.
one of the first things you got to do is you got to identify what your spokes are.
Yeah.
Right?
What's important
What's
to you?
important? What actually needs to be on here? You know?
Maybe the things you're struggling with, put more focus into those.
Yeah.
I think, well, to balance the wheel, make sure you don't make it all hard.
Right.
Make sure you got the ones on there that
Some
are
things,
your good
some
ones.
things we're already doing well.
Yeah. But how could we do them a little
you
bit
could
better?
those stretches on those could be
Huge.
nice.
Could be huge. Every time I've done this, the stretches, I'm amazed at how many stretches I get. Like, I just got goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, I get some crazy, like, I did that. I actually did that this year. Holy cow. I would have never, it was a dream. It was a dream that I had, that there's no way in hell that I could actually accomplish that. And I did that, and I almost did it in such a way that it was like, well, of course I did it. Like, why not? Why wouldn't I have done it? Where before it was an impossibility, it becomes a simple thing because I'm thinking about it every day. I'm feeling it. At least once a week, twice a month. I'm going through and I'm seeing this, and I'm spending time in that space. So that needs to be a meditation. It needs to be something you journal about. I'm excited that when I make $1 million for my nonprofit this year, that I can start an endowment, and that endowment will create and away I can go. And I'm visualizing it, I'm planning it, I'm thinking about it. I'm spending time already there. So we're taking manifesting from a daily level now to an annual level, a yearly level, and then imagine what you can accomplish manifesting at a level exponentially huge.
God, if we just took and maintained this projection that we're on after 60 days, it's
Yeah.
going to be huge.
Yeah. You're going to start seeing things change in the direction that you want. You're going to start to shape your life in the way that you want it shaped. As we're idling along, the one thing that we do is, we're waiting for that opportunity for the ship to come in. We're waiting for our ship to come in. People spend their whole lives waiting for the ship to come in. And is that me? Who's ringing? We're going to have to edit this.
It's not me.
It's Rob. It's me. Sorry, everyone. All right. Let's start again.
Waiting for your ship to come.
Oh, yeah. So we spend our whole lives waiting for the ship to come in. A lot of people will spend their whole lives and leave the mortal coil, and their ship has never come in.
Right.
This is swimming out, grabbing the nose of the ship, bringing it to the beach.
God, yes, I love that.
You got to get in the water. You got to be swimming. You got to do the work. You've got to, that's my ship.
Throw that rope between your teeth
And get to
start
swimming. Get to swimming, baby. Because the ship will continually pass us by. There's always opportunities on the horizon, but when are you in the right place to receive them? Only if you are in the right place.
Right.
Emotionally, physically, financially, to receive them. This gets you in there. This is talking about emotionally, financially, physically. This is it. You guys follow me on this? Mm-hmm. And so I really want to be very clear about this is not an exercise to be taken lightly. This is harnessing the power of intention, the power of manifestation. This is the next big step in this process. And I'm excited that we're going to take this journey together in 2024 because your lives are about to change in a way that you can't imagine. My life is about to change in a way that I can't imagine. I'm going to imagine it. I'm going to spend time in that space. And so this exercise, it goes on. And this is something that you're going to want to share with other people. When you're talking to other people, you're going to be like, oh, hold on. my friendship goal. I actually have a friendship goal that I'm going to like this is going to become part of your language. Like I've read this enough that I know that this is what I want with my friendship, and I want to connect with people, and this is how I want to connect, and this is how I want it to work. And I'm going to be able to say that. I'm going to be able to clearly, visually, verbally drop that nugget whenever I can, because this is going to be so wired into my daily thinking. You feel it?
I love it. Yeah.
This is cool.
This
huh?
is a strategic plan, but instead of for a business, it's for you, for your life.
Right. But in all of the areas. Now imagine the speed you could travel once that wheel is balanced.
Yeah.
Imagine the distance that you could go if we could go there together, if we could travel there together with all those wheels. The problem about traveling faster through life and creating this momentum is that pretty soon you'll start to feel, and you may have already started feeling this in the past 60 days, is that there's energies that are just no longer acceptable in your life. Love them. Love that guy. He's a good dude, but he's going to have to be a good dude over there because I am traveling. I've got the ship. I got the rope in my teeth, and I'm swimming this way, and he's not about that.
Yeah.
Don't got time for that.
I don't have time for that. And so you got to start to be careful where you spend your energy, because there's vampires out there that are going to want to take that energy and suck it right out of you. And so that's why it's paramount that the important relationships, the partner is bought into this plan, because you don't want her to be the vampire. You follow me?
Yeah.
You don't want that friendship that you want to pour into to be the vampire. I'm gonna invest in relationships that are meaningful and that they want to invest back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they can't do that unless they know this is not a covert contract that we're going to have with our spouse or with our friend or with our finances.
Yeah.
This is a out in the open. Here it is. This is what I want. You want to join me? You want to come along? Kind of a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the big points that I wanted to cover when it comes to the golden nuggets as far as the annual plan, the dream board, as you will. This is less visual than we have dream boards for. If you want to do a dream board, I'm going to do one this year, but they're cool. Sometimes I haphazardly stumble upon. I manifested a motorcycle from a dream board one time. Can I tell you the story really quick? Yeah. I
love this story.
Wait a second.
I put Bamalama, a Nomad Kawasaki black and silver, on my dream board. I went to a listing appointment that week, the same week that I did the dream board, and I walked through and there was Bamalama, a Nomad Kawasaki black and silver, parked over there, covered in dust. And I said to the guy, and we had just started walking through the house. The way that the listing appointment goes is I make friendly, and then I say, why don't you sell me your house? Show me everything in your house that's reasonable, and I'm going to take notes, because if I'm going to be your salesperson, I want to know the points, the stuff that only you know about your house. So we go into the garage. There's the motorcycle parked right there, and I'm like, hey, man, you're not going to believe this, but I just barely put that motorcycle on my dream board. That's my dream bike. One day, I'm going to have a bike just like that. And he goes, you want that one? And I said, I can't afford it. I'm not in a position that I can buy your motorcycle, but thank you. That's awesome. He's like, what if I make it part of your commission? And I'll go get it tuned up. I'll have the carburetors work through. I'll put a new battery in it and make sure that it's running perfectly. And I'm like, and we hadn't even talked commissions. I hadn't told him like what an amazing real estate agent I was. I hadn't done any of the sales pitch yet. You know what I mean? I hadn't sat down and convinced him like why he should work with me. He was just like, yeah, let's do this. And I was like, hell yeah. And I got the motorcycle for a fantastic deal. He put the work into it. I had to put more into it, of course, to make it the bike that it became. But I manifested that motorcycle in a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's done it with chickens. She wanted a dozen chickens. And I'm like, whatever. She put it on the dream board. We had a dozen chickens by Friday. These things, this manifesting stuff is
it's
no
legit.
joke. It's no joke. And so
It's powerful.
be careful what you put on here and what you share with others, because this is taking it to another level. It's not putting it on the wall and forgetting about it. It's taking time every day, spending that time in that space, and that's where the power is.
If you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it.
Ooh, baby. Print me a t-shirt, baby. I love that. All right, so I've beat this horse to death. What have I missed? What points do you guys want to like ask me about? Questions about this? The exercise? Have I been very clear about this?
How many spokes realistically should we have?
That's an interesting thing, is as many as you want. You know what I mean? You could have one spoke that you're working on this year. That might be the thing. Your health might be your thing right now, because without your health, you're nothing. But in my opinion, to create a life of fulfillment, there's balance. And that balance is in my physical health, and my spiritual health, my relationship health, my financial health. All of these things matter to me. And so I'm going to spend time on there. Now, I might not have 3 to 5 things in each on each one. Like my friendship, I might have my friendship book might be really strong right now, so I only have like 1 or 2 things in there. You don't have to have a same number of tasks on every single one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Jared?
I like this because it makes you think about all the spokes in your life
Right.
and really spend some time on, and I could really
What do I want from
work
that?
on
Yeah.
the friendship on or
Yeah.
work on.
What do I want from my relationship with my kids?
I like that.
No one ever thinks about that. Their kids are grown and they're gone, and you never really spent time on what do I want from that relationship.
Yeah.
Do I want to spend time on the floor wrestling with Jetty? Yes. That's a big deal.
Every day.
Every day. That might need to be what's in there. Like, let's set some intention around that, because you know what? Jetty is going to be 25 tomorrow.
I know it.
Boom. He'll be grown up and
we'll-
like one of these fools riding a
Still be-
motorcycle.
We'll still be wrestling.
Yeah. I actually believe
It might look different.
Yeah. Don't Jet, stop. But it goes quick. It goes quick. And marriage is a good example. I've been married twice before, and I had no intention in my marriage the whole time. And so what happened in my marriage? Whatever happened in my marriage, because I never thought that I could actually make that choice. It wasn't up to me. It just was what it was. And that's not how this works.
It's crazy when you start to be intentional with your life.
Yeah. So
Making the shift into the intentional life,
takes guts.
how your marriage changes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All your relationships could change that way.
Right. All your relationships.
Yeah. I think about my physical health. I'm down 120 pounds because I was just eating and existing. I would eat a whole bag of M&Ms in an episode of The Simpsons. The family-size bag. Not the little tiny bag that you get out of the vending machine. The big bag. Peanut M&Ms. I
Share
share
size.
Yeah, I'm eating them by the fistful. You know, not like from my fingers, from the fist. You know what I mean? The bottom of the hand, not the top of the hand. Just shutting that bag down. And it was just great. I was raised poor. I never had treats like that around my house. I never had a bowl of anything on the table. We were broke. And so when I came into money, which is code for trashy, terrible food, I had no intention, and I got fat. And so changing my intention, now what do I want? I've lost 120 pounds. I've put on the muscle. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 29. Better shape. I'm going to be 53 in a few minutes. And I'm that way because I've made the decision. Do you see what I mean? Like, this has changed my life over and over again. And I can tell you the relationship with my body is a pretty important one. I've known a lot of people who have a ton of money who are sick.
Yep.
Right? Have you seen those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They're everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're rich and they can do nothing with it. Now, the last thing that I want to say is that, and this was brought up earlier with the MVP, is that our lives are already pretty good, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that the MVP does is help you realize, like, man, you know, of the things I'm worried about, these are pretty good things to be worried about.
Yeah.
I want you guys to know that as you're putting this together, you want to do it after you've done your gratitudes. You want to do this at the highest frequency possible because our lives are already really good. What we're going to do is we're going to just make it better. We're going to take it in the direction that we want to go. This isn't to beat ourselves up at all, to I need to improve in my finances because that's not what this is about. This is about coming in with a heart full of gratitude, being like, I am so blessed that I have the opportunity to project into my world the thing that I want the most, to create a life that is worth living. And that's the space that you're going to be coming from. This is not a tool to beat yourself up. I want to be super clear about that because I'm sitting with the table of high achievers, and high achievers have a tendency to really be hard on themselves about where they are. Man, if I would have just won that lottery, then I'd be a professional baseball player until no, that's not how this works. This works the way that it works. We're where we are because we're blessed to have the journey that we're on. But it's not okay just to sit back and idly travel along. We've done that now for the period of time that you've been on the planet, and it's time to make a change. And so the commitment I'm asking you to do is this is something that has to happen by January 4th, but this is something that we're going to read every day. This is something that I'm going to bring, and I'm going to have a few of you sign on a couple of these because the friendships that are in this room are friendships that I want to really improve.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I love you too, man.
And so this is important to me, and the business stuff, and there's some business goals that I have set that are going to happen in this group. Do you get what I'm saying?
Heck yeah.
And so that's what this is about. This is about projecting, not beating ourselves up. This is about moving forward and not looking backwards.
Hell yeah.
We'll go into it with, like you said, to write these, go into it with the Christmas wish list. Like this is exciting to
This is
do.
gonna be awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's how you want to do it. And when you share it with somebody, I want you to be able to share it not with a sense of embarrassment, but with like, check this shit out.
Yeah.
Look what hold my beer.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm about to do some cool shit. And
You
be
might
excited
not
about it.
believe this,
Yeah.
but you should.
Yeah, you're going to see
about to happen.
You're going to see some awesome going down
Yeah.
right over her. So that's what this is about, and I just want you guys to understand that that's where we're going with this. This is something I want you to be super proud of. I want you to be able to share it with mom and dad, and with the kids, and with your partners, and whatever it is, because this is it. This is what I'm doing. Come with me. Join me on this exciting journey, and you'll be surprised who asks for these. Oh, can I get one of those? I'd like to try that. I'd like to put some intention in my life. Annie does it with me. Annie puts it together. And one of the best meetings that we have is we're planning the year. We have a year planning meeting. We sit down and here you go. This is what I want. This is what you want. And it's amazing how much we align or how much we don't align that we should probably be conscious of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
You follow me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of layers on this that we're going to discuss as we're doing our check-ins in the next 60 or 90 days on where we're going with this, because there's going to be some lessons learned. You're going to put some things on here that are entirely outrageous that you have no business doing, like your early MVP, right?
Right.
And then you're going to start to be dialing that back. And so that's what we're going to be doing for the next 15 or 18 days till the 4th. We're going to be working on dialing that back and getting down the for reals.
I like it.
The for reals, and then that 1 or 2. Oh man, I'm going to do that. I'm going to run that marathon or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. On that note, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your friends. Please click on the links below. There's going to be a workbook associated with this, a layout, a process that's going to be beautiful, and we're going to give it to you so that you can take this into your lives. You can take it into your family's lives. I would like you to share this with everyone that you know, because creating intention around you builds and strengthens your own intention. If you've liked this, please share it. Please subscribe to this podcast. We are going to be doing Golden Nuggets check-ins and other Golden Nuggets moving forward, and this is something that we're very excited about as a group, and we're grateful that you're here, grateful that you could tune in. Please let us know if there's something that you would like to hear more of or less of, or if you have a guest that you would like us to interview, because we're always looking for great opportunities to learn and grow ourselves. Thank you very much for tuning in to the American Masterminds Podcast. Have a great day.